Joel Hetrick's championship comeback in the ATV National Motocross Championship began at round 4, our last event in South Carolina. He got out front early, leaving Yamaha men Chad Wienen and Thomas Brown, and Honda's Jeff Rastrelli battling behind him. Hetrick went on to take the first Moto win, then followed it with another early lead in Moto 2, pushing his championship rival Wienen off the track. Action was hot and heavy all over, but on this race day, Hetrick would not be denied, with Thomas Brown and Rastrelli putting on another classic battle behind him. A 1-1 score for Hetrick, but consistency from Wienen on the left leads him in the points lead. Heading into this, round 5 at Muddy Creek. Muddy Creek Raceway in Blountfield, Tennessee, not far from the famous NASCAR racetrack. In Bristol is the host of Round 5, the ATV National Motocross Championship, sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing. As always, a ton of different classes from youth riders on minis to amateurs, but there are your pros getting ready, and this, something completely different. A Power Wheels race down the hillside. Shows Harv Whipple of the AMA, making sure everyone's machines are up to snuff at tech inspection. Big autograph line for our pro riders. There's Nick Janusa signing. There's his machine, the number 15. Wesley Wolf is our camera's a quick peek there. There's Cody Ford's number 52. Hayden Mickelson of the Phoenix Racing Hondas, 135. Dylan Tremelin on the 940, Root River Racing machine. Brandon Hogue will be on the number 26. Wes Lewis, 79 machine right there. Alan Myers will be number 24. He is a Tennessee native. Here's Sammy Rowe's machine, and there's Sammy pumped to get some coverage here on Racer TV. Jaron Cochran, the 563, is a teammate to him. There's Jeff Rastrelli on the Baldwin Racing machine, showing off the guns there, Jeffrey. And there's Thomas Brown signing autographs. Let's check in with the tough Texan, find out about his prospects today.
Here at Muddy Creek, about halfway through the season, and we've been consistent, man. We're just going to keep pushing forward, keep getting up on that box. I need to get a couple wins. You know, it'd be great to get one here. Right now, the track's not looking the primest. It doesn't look like it has much flow right now. It's really rough, which normally plays into my favor. I'm interested to see how it goes and get out there. We have to see how the weekend turns out, but I'm super excited just to keep on, try to get back up on that box and maybe make up some points.
Well, they all need to make up points on this guy, Chad Wienen, and the Wienen Motorsports Yamaha crew. They're working hard. He's out front in the series.
Points leader, just regained it at Ironman and try to carry this points leader momentum into this round and try to come out of here with some good points. And we got great weather this weekend, so hopefully it sticks around for us and we have a good showing here.
And the showing will begin now. Riders gathered for riders meeting and qualifying, and we'll cover the qualifying action and the motos after this. ATV Motocross on MAV TV is brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATV MC and by Maxxis. Let's bring the machines out and put the riders on the racetrack here at venerable Muddy Creek Raceway in Tennessee. Chad Wienen, Joel Hetrick, and the stars of this championship going to throw down. Surface here, pretty challenging. They threw down a lot more sand and loose dirt than usual at Muddy Creek, which has a clay surface that usually gets pretty hard packed. So we'll see if it packs in as the motos go. See how soft it was between landings. The transition to see this loam as well for Thomas Brown off the side of the racetrack. The T. Brown Racing CST Tires Yamaha. There's Jeff Rastrelli working the uphill jump. Didn't quite peak out the jumps this year as much as previous. A little bit tougher for the riders to get over some of the big ledges. You watch Nick Janusa. See the jumps a little bit more rollers here this year. Here's Brandon Hogue. Well, he caught some air over that one. Wesley Wolf. Alan Myers slinging it sideways. That looked like a photo shoot in that corner. Sam Rowe on the 38. The track is actually one of the tighter ones out here as you watch Hayden Mickelson come through. The big air up across the top of the facility. As Cody Ford comes through here. Track's all in a valley, so it's very good for sight lines for the fans. Here is Dylan Tremelin over the rollers. That was Jaron Cochran, new to the pro class this year out of Pennsylvania. Track's going to be rough with all that loose soil. Joel Hetrick, the Dirt Nation fast qualifier, that's no surprise. He generally is the quickest on the stopwatch in qualifying, but can he be consistent in the races and get the points back? Let's ask Hetrick himself.
So I ended up first in qualifying today. We had two good qualifiers. I pulled first in both of them. I think I had a pretty good margin too, which was pretty good for me. I'm happy with that. I'm confident in the bike. It's working awesome. I feel really good today, and we just got to put it all together, and hopefully you see me in the center of that box again. But if not, stay on the podium, stay consistent, and have fun doing it.
Hey, I'm just impressed he was able to get that hill clicker in over that tiny little double jump. He's on his A game today. Let's see if anyone can stop the number 88 from being number 1 at the end of the day at Muddy Creek. ATV Motocross on MAV TV is brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATV MC and by Maxxis. It was all fun and games earlier, but now it's serious business. Pro class of the ATV National Motocross Championship. I'm Jason Wygant here to give you the call. We'll get the helmet camera set up on Joel Hetrick, and let's go racing. Hetrick looking good in the turn 1, battling it out with Wienen. Wienen goes off the racetrack and back on. Only lost about 2 positions there, but he did not gain any ground, so I think that will be deemed legal. Great recovery from the champion and taking full advantage. You know Hetrick will, but a mistake. Rastrelli to the inside. Got the Rocky Mountain ATV MC helmet cam. Great action here early. Rastrelli will have the inside of this next corner. Does he have the pace to hold it? No. That inside roller jump slows him up and allows Hetrick to reclaim the lead. Thomas Brown in 3rd, Wienen 4th. The big uphill triple, they cannot get that today, just the way they have this track prepped up. Also on board with Nick Janusa, who's in the top 5. Hetrick trying to set sail. Ooh. Little things that he does, soaking up the faces of those jumps to try to keep the machine from getting too much air and get that power back down to the ground. You see some of the sand piles on the side of the racetrack, which they use to rebuild this surface. Will be interesting to see how the track changes throughout the Moto. Woo! Hetrick really threw that thing in hard. Almost went down in that right-hander. Looking back onto the start here, they'll work their way downhill and into the center of the track. Well, if you're Hetrick, this is the opportunity you need with Wienen pushed back to 4th and 2 fast riders, Brown and Rastrelli in front of him. Hetrick's going to have to try to score maximum points and hope Wienen has a few races off the podium. It could happen here with Wienen running in 4th, but the Yamaha man has not finished off the podium literally in years, I believe since 2012, if that makes any sense at all. Yes, that many years on the podium in every single race. But he's going to get challenged today. Hetrick on the Maxxis Team Phoenix Honda checking out. But can anyone challenge him? And can Wienen challenge the riders in 2nd and 3rd? He's not right on them. You see a nice little lead for Hetrick at the moment. And a little gap also for Rastrelli over Brown. And there goes Wienen. Lots of off-cambers on this track. Wienen doing his best to get that Yamaha hooked up out of the corners. Now Hetrick comes back into view. Man, is he fun to watch when he's out front and feeling it. Managed to make a little triple out of that roller section there, and that allows him to further pull away. We'll check back in on this battle behind him. Brown takes a look over. He sees Wienen coming. How will they race the champion? Will they be super aggressive? It's tightening up. In fact, Brown quickly with a line on the inside takes 2nd. Rastrelli will have the inside of this next corner and takes it right back. And now in full view of the spectators. In the camping area on top of the racetrack, you know they're pumped on this action. Rastrelli looks over, moves over actually to block the pass attempt from Brown, and Wienen is right there looking to take advantage as these two fight each other. They jump downhill. Oh, Brown showed him a wheel again, couldn't make the pass. Rastrelli holds on to 2nd. Side by side now. Oh, came together, and a little wheelie out of the corner. Brown gonna challenge him again. And Whedon sneaks through, he takes advantage. Well, it all came down to that. These two were battling, and the veteran sat back there and waited for an opening, and now he's in position to maybe finish second anyway. As he tries to get Rastrelli, they bump coming into that corner. Great racing between these three. Thomas Brown trying to come back on Whedon. Oh, and it happens. Chad Whedon found an opening. He knew exactly what to do with it, and also used those long legs and the leverage. Got those rear tires on the ground, through the rollers, went quickly and too fast for Rastrelli to do anything about it, and now Brown to the inside and puts his machine right there so Rastrelli could not come back underneath. So it has changed in a hurry. Rastrelli back to fourth. Brown in third. Chad Whedon doing what he has to do, recovering from the early mistake into the number 2 spot. Rastrelli and Brown have had some classic duels through the years. Rastrelli not giving up on it from fourth. He wants to get back around for third, while Joel Hetrick sure looks good out front. ATV Motocross on MAV TV is brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATV MC and by Maxxis. It's been a great moto here at Muddy Creek in many ways. For Joel Hetrick, it has been one of domination and style. And for the rest of the field, it's just been simply great racing. Chad Whedon off the racetrack early, had to come from fourth, get back into second, battled his way past Thomas Brown and Jeff Rastrelli. Looks like Rastrelli has lost a little bit of ground to Brown now. As he went to break, he was all over him. So we'll take a little bit further back to battle now. Wesley Wolf and Nick Janusa. Janusa ahead of Wolf. Wolf, though, putting in one of his better rides this season, trying to challenge for a top 5. 1 lap to go for Hetrick on the Phoenix Racing Honda. And I don't know what else you can say about him. He has been aces in the races this year, except for a mud race at Ironman. Had some mechanical problems there. That's what has put his back against the wall in the championship fight. He's got a long way to go. Down, I believe, more than 20 points on Whedon at the moment. All he can do is win motos and hope that someday Whedon has a bad day at the races, but it seems like no matter what happens to the number 1, he finishes up usually in second, even on a bad day. So it makes it very difficult for Hetrick to make up those points, but he's sure going to try. And in the meantime, have some fun taking moto wins. And he's about a third of a lap away from getting that done. Get the Rocky Mountain ATV MC on board one last time. And he heads back uphill. Can't handle the big bomber triple today, but he doesn't need it because he's got a big lead in the field. Checkered flag in sight. Joel Hetrick wins the first moto at Muddy Creek, but it's a 2-moto format, of course, so everyone has to re-rack and get ready for Moto 2. There's Whedon, bench racing there with Hetrick and Brown, and the rest of the field ready to go. Rastrelli will once again have it on board. Here we go. Battling, bumping. Rastrelli and Hetrick, oh, they come together, and that allows Whedon to take advantage of what happened. That is Rastrelli, he stalled it. That's a bad situation to be in with the entire field trying to get by. And speaking of getting by, Hetrick wants to the number 1 spot. He's trying to pass Whedon. Rastrelli still doesn't have it fired. Now he does, so the rider 4th in Moto 1 is going to be in comeback mode for certain here in Moto 2. And you can pretty much scratch him from podium contention. Hetrick taking on Roost. You can see the Rocky Mountain ATV MC on board getting blocked by some of the dirt thrown up by Whedon. Back across the finish line stretch we go. Boy, that would be huge if Whedon could pull off the overall today. A 2-1 score would do it, but Hetrick and Brown not going to make it easy on him. Hetrick looking for an opening, looking. Fading to the inside in his corners. Cannot find traction there because the cushion of that soft dirt is pushed out. He just wants to know Whedon, he's there. Trying it again. Tiptoeing around the inside. still gets a good drive out of that corner. And uphill we go. I don't think there's a place for Hetrick to pass, but boy, is he applying the pressure. And another section, we jump downhill. Hetrick needs a mistake. Oh, got over the top. Almost bumped wheels with Hetrick, and look at Thomas Brown staying right there in the hunt. So it's funny, Wienen was able to catch, pass, and leave. Oh, look, a huge dirt clod coming up. Wienen trying everything he can to stick to these insides. Another great battle back here, Janusa and Lewis. So that's 4th and 5th. It is on between them. Looks like Hetrick, after taking in all that roost, shading back a little bit, and then you know he's going to put the press back on. Right on the rear grab bar of Wienen. But where can he make a pass? Oh, that got a little too close for comfort in the landing of that jump. Wienen didn't move over, but boy, he slowed the pace, and now coming into that corner, nowhere for Hetrick to go. This could get testy between the two title contenders. They've always kept it clean in the past, but Hetrick's got to be running out of patience. A line to the inside. Wienen covers it. Incredible racing here at Muddy Creek. Stay with us. Racer TV is brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATV MC and by Maxxis. That was some early race craziness that you just saw there, and mid-race pretty wild as well. Joel Hetrick practically riding off the racetrack at times to try to find an area to pass Chad Wienen for the lead. I cannot believe they have not made hard contact at this point. I mean, Hetrick is all over this racetrack, and I don't know if you want to call it defensive riding. If you're Hetrick, you're probably not happy about it. Wienen's doing everything he can to just put that Yamaha everywhere Hetrick wants to go, and sometimes that means going slower in sections. Hetrick's going to try the outside now. Wienen beats him to it. And Thomas Brown is still right there. That's what I was going to talk about earlier. Wienen was able to catch, pass, and leave Brown in the first moto, but now that he's leading, he's actually got the pace to where both Hetrick and Brown can run it easily. So I think this is definitely the case of Wienen going slower to try to hold Hetrick up. At least his pace in the first moto should have been enough to at least draw away from Brown. It definitely was there. Here in Moto 2, still have Hetrick and Brown right behind him. Okay, let's see Hetrick put on another attack. He has taken on so much roost in this race. To the uphill double. Hetrick had tried the outside the previous lap. Not going to work this time. What can he do here? Gets a good drive out of that corner into the jumps. Not as close as he was. And the danger always when you're right behind someone like this, the riders will tell you can get sucked into their pace. You run their pace for so long, as we see Rastrelli up to 8th after stalling and running in last early. If you're Hetrick, you get stuck back here for so long, you kind of lose that speed edge you had. You haven't been able to run your pace in so many laps. Oh, he's got the opening right there and finally takes the lead. And the crowd saluting the effort. He just wouldn't give up on it. Hetrick to the #1 spot. And let's see how quickly he can put distance between himself and Wienen. Oh, clean air has got to feel like a relief. Just eating so much dirt and roost and rocks throughout this one. Now he's in position to run his own lines and his own pace. Well, I'm sure if you're Hetrick, you weren't happy about being stuck back there, but for the fans, it led to some great racing. White flag is out. Actually didn't get it done with that much time to spare. Hetrick now looking for 2 1-1 sweeps in a row. Whoa, and gets kicked a little sideways on the launch to that jump. That had to be a little bit uncomfortable. Over the jumps we go. Hetrick trying to lock this thing down on the Phoenix Racing Honda. Also, the Maxxis tires, Elk shocks, and Walsh Racecraft preparing the chassis. Looks like he's got it dialed in this time. Well, it certainly was exciting to watch, but Hetrick's probably glad this one is over, because those were some tense moments behind Wienen, but he does it. Another 1-1 moto sweep for Joel Hetrick. The championship comeback continues. Let's talk to our top three.
Me and Chad and Thomas went at it most of the race. I mean, for, I don't know, 15 minutes it felt like we were just going as hard as we can. I made some big mistakes, but capitalized on, a few lines I had and pulled back from the mistakes, and just super pumped to be up here. I needed this win. Bike worked awesome today, and I have no complaints. Gas and motor pulling great out of the start. Max's tires hooking up. I could hit lines that I don't think these guys could, and that really made a difference. And super pumped to be up here, like I said, and we'll see you at the next one.
Rode a good race, trying to stretch myself out, but Joel was running really good today. He had excellent pace, and I just didn't quite have it, so had to settle in for second, a little past halfway, and good 2-2 on the day, and we're gonna push on to Walnut next.
I was able to battle with Chad and Joel. They were going at it, and I was right there on the tails watching and learning, and man, we're getting closer to them, and that's pumped. So I'm super pumped to be back here in the box. I'm super pumped to keep these points alive and keep pushing and learning. We're getting to the second half of the season. Normally that's where I shine. So if we can pick up a little more momentum, maybe get some wins, man, we're going to some good tracks here on out. So I'm super excited, and we'll keep pushing.
Here's your Maxxis race recap. First moto, bumping and banging through the first turn, puts Wienen off the track, and Hetrick with the SSI Decals Whole Shot Award into the lead. Wienen, a great charge to comeback. He had to get around both Jeff Rastrelli and Thomas Brown to get second. He does it. Then Brown gets Rastrelli as well to take third. Give Hetrick a whole shot, and he is long gone. Moto 2, though, thought he had that SSI Decals Whole Shot, and instead he gets bumped by Rastrelli, and that allows Chad Wienen to get into the lead, and Wienen did everything he could to hold Hetrick off. Did it for about 3/4 of the race, and then finally Hetrick made the move and got around, and from there he would not be headed. 1-1 scores. The problem for him, he's still 17 points down on Wienen in the championship. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygast. Thanks for watching.